Breaking news coming in this hour. Arvind Kejriwal sent to 14 days judicial custody. Let's cross live to Ashish Mehrishi, who's joining us live from outside the Patiala House Court. Ashish, take us through what happened in court today.
Well, very clearly, Simi, we have with us Subramanian Swamy. Mr. Swamy, very interestingly today, again, the same thing happened in the court, especially related to Mr. Kejriwal. Yes. And he has again, failed to furnish the bail bond. He argued, and he is still, even the court said, you should, behave like a responsible citizen. How do you see this?
No, Mr. Kejriwal is of Naxalite persuasion. This whole AAP movement is basically aimed for disrupting society and exploiting the anger of the people and the failure of the UPA to provide normal amenities to the people. So he is behaving like that. He cannot obey the law, because then he will be thrown out of the Naxalite movement.
How do you see that 14 days judicial custody now? Do you think it's because almost everybody has been saying it's merely to be in headlines, to somehow be in the news because the kind of route that the Aam Aadmi Party has faced?
Well, I don't know what is, but I know his main objective is to disrupt orderly procedure.
Thank you, Mr. Subramanian Swamy. So that was Subramanian Swamy, Simi, very clearly. But as I was myself inside the court, and the court very clearly said that what is the difficulty in furnishing a bail bond? Because this is the procedure of law, and when a procedure of law needs to be adopted, what is the difficulty in it? And very clearly now 14 days judicial custody is what Arvind Kejriwal is. He is going to be again sent to Tihar jail. You can see high drama here. Arvind Kejriwal's people here, Aam Aadmi Party, they're shouting slogans here. You can very clearly see me outside the court premises. This is just outside Patiala House. And so these are things, this is how Arvind Kejriwal, this is what his critics have been saying, that this is how Arvind Kejriwal has been trying to stay in the news, trying to stay in the headlines and trying to keep his party alive, because he knows that he has come into the power with the help of media, and this is how he wants to stay alive. But you can see right here outside the court premises, he has been sent to judicial custody, but supporters of the Aam Aadmi Party here shouting slogans for in favor of Arvind Kejriwal. So this is in fact, Simi, a very big scene as of now. Whatever is happening here. So there is Somnath Bharti also here. In fact, Simi, a whole lot of lawyers, senior lawyers. Surprisingly, Simi, Shanti Bhushan himself came to argue for Arvind Kejriwal. Prashant Bhushan was there. H.S. Fulka was there. The newly elected member of parliament Bhagwant Mann was there. Somnath Bharti was there. So a number of people have been, inside the court premises. There was so much of rush, Simi, inside the court premises that the entire thing had to be shifted from one court to the another court. But ultimately, the court said that, Mr. Kejriwal, that you have to behave in an orderly manner. And what is the problem in accepting the procedure of law? You are a free man in case you furnished a bail bond. So certainly a big thing for Arvind Kejriwal's party will try and get because
absolutely,
they are
trying to get
this is the
as
way
much mileage as possible ahead of the Delhi elections. Ashish, stay on with us. I believe we can now go across to Aam Aadmi Party leader Mayank Gandhi, who's joining us on the phone line. Mr. Gandhi, why is Kejriwal refusing to file the bail bond? It's a simple procedure according to law. Is this not a publicity stunt?
No, this is ridiculous that it is called publicity stunt. I'm sure when Gandhi did not sign also it may have been called by publicity stunt. All I am saying is, why do you need a bail? He's
because
writing
the law
and saying
requires it, Mr. Gandhi.
1 minute, please, let me respond. He is saying that he will be there for all hearings. Is he going to run away? He's been the chief minister of a state. How are you subjecting it to like this? He's willing to commit that he will come for all the hearings. What more can he do?
So, Mr. Mayank Gandhi, are you saying that because he's occupied the post of chief minister for 49 days, he should be given special treatment under law?
No, absolutely not. He is willing to say that he will come and attend all the hearings. What more can he say? Is he some common fugitive who's going to run away? Is that what the impression is?
He's not a common fugitive. That's not what the court is saying, Mr. Mayank Gandhi. The court is saying that the law requires anyone who's been who's involved in a case like this to sign a bail bond? 10,000 rupees is not too much the court is asking for from Mr. Kejriwal. As a national party which has spent so much of money in the campaigning in the Lok Sabha elections, why can't our party cough up this little amount? How can you even say this is not a publicity stunt ahead of the Delhi polls?
Madam, it is not about money, it is about principles. I don't know whether you will understand
What
this word.
principle are you talking about?
We are saying that if the wrong is being done, we will oppose it, and we will continue to oppose it even if we have to go to jail.
So, Mr. Mayank Gandhi, you can also sign the bail bond and Arvind Kejriwal can walk out of jail and continue to hold protest demonstrations in the street of the national capital. Why can't, what is this insistence to stay behind bars? Is he not trying to portray himself as a martyr?
He has not been sent to jail. And before that also, so many have not paid to jail. Why is an exception being made to Arvind? And it is not as if we are doing a publicity stunt. When Arvind was an RTI activist also, he refused to pay the bill. It is a matter of principles, and we have never paid, Arvind has never paid the bail. So it's not as if he's doing it now, first time. He's been doing it for the last decade or so.
All right, so you're not. So you're arguing on a point of law, Mr. Mayank Gandhi. What's the Aam Aadmi Party's next step going to be from this point onwards?
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Mayank Gandhi, what's the Aam Aadmi Party's next step going to be?
We will today discuss and see what is the next step to be taken. We'll continue to protest for the right thing.
All right, Mr. Mayank Gandhi, thanks so much for speaking to Headlines today. I believe we can now go across to our correspondent Ashish Mehrishi, who has AAP leader Somnath Bharti with him. Ashish, over to you.
Well, in fact, Mr. Bharti, the big question is what everybody is asking. Isn't this a publicity stunt? And why not follow the procedure of law?
There is no publicity stunt. I have a right to call a chore. And the court is within its right to ask me for a personal bond.
No, but you have not been able to give evidence for Nitin Gadkari.
For example, in the time to come, I will be filing defamation case against Headlines today, against you also.
Agreed, not a problem.
And then you will be within your rights to do what we are doing now.
True, agreed, sir, agreed. Right. But what we want to understand is, even the court said that Mr. Kejriwal, you have occupied senior positions.
This is not an ordinary case. Please try to understand. It's not ordinary time.
What is the difference?
It's an emergency time when you're not supposed to criticize because somebody is a functionary in the government today. No, that's the whole problem.
What is the difficulty in following the procedure of law? This is even the court said.
No. The problem there is that because I'm not accepting the fact that I've done a wrong by calling a chore, I will keep calling it.
What is the evidence that you have for Nitin Gadkari calling him as a chore?
Why don't you go and ask Times Now? Times Now had done tremendous exercise and tremendous investigation, much better than Headlines today.
No, agreed.
And they have explicit
agreed,
proof.
Mr. Bharti.
Explicit
proof. To my understanding, recently the Income Tax Department gave a clean chit to Nitin Gadkari.
How can you give clean chit? Because this man was seen on the TV threatening income tax officer with a deterrent, if you recall. Times Now had clearly shown on the TV that time an income tax officer was threatened that he'll be taking whatnot.
You mean to say that since the BJP has come into power, that is why the income tax has taken the back
seat? Now this is an emergency time. The government will not allow freedom of expression and speech.
Just last question.
The moment you speak a word against a functionary in the government,
just today, last question.
You will face jail.
Certainly.
That's what is the time now.
So what is the procedure now that is the Aam Aadmi Party going to follow? Are you going to appear in ask in the High Court? Thank you, Mr. Bharti. So that was Simi, that was Somnath Bharti very clearly saying that these are emergency times on where you can see that Somnath Bharti very clearly saying that since the BJP has come into power, it is because of this reason that there is no freedom of speech. So this is something this is what the Aam Aadmi Party says, but at the same time we have seen inside the court where court has very clearly said what is the difficulty in adopting the procedures of law. So this court, Patiala House Court, has basically been used by the Aam Aadmi Party to get back into the headlines.
Absolutely, a defamation case being used by the Aam Aadmi Party to once again hit headlines. Ashish Mehrishi getting us live updates from outside the Patiala House Court. He's managed to get us live updates from Subramanian Swamy and Somnath Bharti. We'll tell you exactly what's happening right now. Arvind Kejriwal has been remanded to 14 days judicial custody in the defamation case filed by BJP leader Nitin Gadkari. This means that Aam Aadmi Party Chief Kejriwal will remain in jail till the 6th of June. Kejriwal's counsel proposed a lawyer-bound undertaking, which essentially meant that Kejriwal's lawyer Shanti and Prashant Bhushan would ensure his presence in court in the next hearing, but they refused to sign on the bail bond where the court has asked them to submit 10,000 rupees. This was rejected by the court, saying that no special arrangements can be made for the AAP leader and they will have to go by what the law prescribes. Let's go back to Ashish Merishi, who's getting us live updates from outside the Patiala House Court in the national capital. Ashish, this opportunity has really given the Aam Aadmi Party a chance to once again come in the limelight, considering the fact that after their poor performance in the Lok Sabha polls, they really had no issues left, and they are a party who are eyeing a large number of seats in the Delhi elections.
No, if you see, Simi, if you would have heard Somnath Bharti, he said that, with the BJP coming in power, there is no freedom of speech. This is what they want to convey to the common man. But, surprisingly, Aam Aadmi Party has failed to understand the procedure of law, because these senior people like Somnath Bharti, even Prashant Bhushan, I just fail to understand. In fact, anybody would fail to understand what is the difficulty, because the court very clearly said, Simi, that you are an accused in a case. Somebody has filed a defamation case against you, and the procedure of law says that all you need to do is just take the bail, give a 10,000 rupees bail bond, and you're a free man, and you can go out and let the procedure of law decide whether you are whether the accused is actually guilty or not. But surprisingly, just to be in publicity, this is what Aam Aadmi Party has been doing. That they want to keep the momentum of Aam Aadmi Party alive, because they realize the rout that they have faced in the recent elections, in the Lok Sabha elections, begging only 4 seats. This is not Aam Aadmi Party. That's what they accepted. But certainly, Arvind Kejriwal, this is what even the court of law said, that Mr. Kejriwal, what is the problem in following the procedure of law? So certainly, if Aam Aadmi Party is trying to portray a picture where they try and portray themselves above law, that is a difficult thing for them in days to come.
Right, and Ashish, this particular case relates to that list that was announced by Arvind Kejriwal in the run-up to the Lok Sabha polls, where he listed out the names of leaders who, according to him, were India's most corrupt. The list also included names of senior BJP and Congress leaders, but it seems that the Congress decided to not take this forward.
Simi, if you correctly see, there is a list that he came out with, but most of the names that he had given out in that list, he didn't had that kind of an evidence with him. For an investigation, for saying somebody that you are guilty of corruption, you need proper evidence. Now here Somnath Bharti, if you remember, we at Headlines Today did a story on saying that you own companies abroad. Now he's on the first hand said that he doesn't own those companies. On the second hand, he said that that somebody has misused his identity. And then we showed that on all these companies that were registered abroad were actually opened with his signatures. Now he's saying that he's going to file a suit against Headlines Today. He's most welcome to do it. But then his story, his part of the story, where he's saying that Mr. Nitin Gadkari is an accused or he is guilty of corruption, he has to come out with proper evidence. Now Nitin Gadkari has filed a defamation case. There is a procedure of law. He has filed a defamation case against Arvind Kejriwal. Now this is a political case. This is what even the judge understands. But again,
कहना अगर अपराध है, हम उस बात से बिल्कुल ही अडिग हैं और हम कभी भी बेल के लिए अप्लाई नहीं करेंगे. हम कोई मनीड बेल के लिए अप्लाई कभी नहीं करेंगे. हम कोर्ट की इज्जत करते हैं, हम कोर्ट का कभी अवमानना नहीं करते हैं, लेकिन कोर्ट अगर ये कहता है कि मैं एक्यूज्ड हूं, मैं उस सेंस में एक्यूज्ड नहीं हूं.
सर, आप हाईकोर्ट जाएंगे इस पूरे मामले में? हाईकोर्ट जाएंगे?
अभी हमने फैसला नहीं किया है.
सर, आज शाम को जो बैठक होने वाली, उसकी रूपरेखा क्या होगी, थोड़ा बता दीजिए.
वो देखते हैं.
सर, एक लाइव प्लीज.
All right, that was Somnath Bharti saying that Aam Aadmi Party Chief Arvind Kejriwal will not sign on that bail bond. Ashish Merishi is still with us, getting us live updates from outside the Patiala House Court. Ashish, Aam Aadmi Party leaders claim that they have proof against BJP leader Nitin Gadkari as far as an alleged scam regarding the Purti group of industries is concerned.
Well, if you correctly see, in fact, the Purti scam, if you remember. Purti, if I correctly remember, because it has been some time that I had gone through the documents, what are the evidence that, in the Purti scam was that these companies, the money that was coming into the Purti companies was actually through fake companies. But if you see in the Purti group, Nitin Gadkari had a very minority stake. It is no doubt about it that Nitin Gadkari was there in Purti. He had a minority stake. He had a relationship. He opened that company. He was one of the founders of Purti Group. But at the end of the day, he had finally diluted its stake and was holding very limited stake into Purti Group. Now, calling him an accused into a investigation which was conducted by income tax authorities, and finally a few days back, income tax authorities gave a clean sheet to Nitin Gadkari. Now, if he says that Nitin Gadkari is accused of corruption, he can go and file a case against Nitin Gadkari in the court of law that Mr. Nitin Gadkari is an accused. The income tax department has not done proper investigation, and this procedure can be adopted. But here you can come out with a list, you defame a person, and when there is a defamation suit filed against you, all you need to do is follow the procedure of law, which Mr. Kejriwal has failed to do so. And now what Simi is trying to do is trying to use this as a publicity stunt and try to occupy the headlines in almost all news channels and somehow keep the party alive. And this is the procedure that has been adopted by Aam Aadmi Party for quite some time now.
Absolutely. A publicity stunt or a principled fight. We'll continue tracking updates. Ashish, thanks so much for getting us the latest on that story. What we do know is that Arvind Kejriwal has almost now chosen to stay in jail. He has been remanded to 14 days of judicial custody. The next date of hearing has been fixed on the 6th of June. Thanks, Ashish, for the update.